Good morning, y'all, and welcome to NC Learns Together. My name is Adam Wiseman, and we are so happy to see you. Just a little bit about where NC Learns Together originated. So, several months ago, or actually a couple months ago, it seems like it's been several months ago, but when this emergency remote learning began, both Stacy and I came together and we wanted to see about offering virtual professional development to the state, to any that needed it. And so that's where NC Learns Together beta was born. And our theme for the beta was going through the door and doors of opportunity. And so that's really where we all started, having to go through this door of opportunity. Several weeks later, due to the popularity of the beta, we continued with the theme, but we progressively added to that. And that's where 2.0 took learning to the next level. That was their theme for the 2.0 edition. So for our 3.0, we're trying to focus more on the future and how things may be next year. And so our theme for the 3.0 edition is building the bridge from crisis to the classroom, because we are all coming together. We are crossing this bridge, and we're all doing this together. So this virtual PD event is by educators for educators. All of our presenters are volunteers. They're not making any money off of this. They volunteered their time, and many are volunteering their time multiple times to present to you their learning and their awesomeness, and so that they want to share that with you all. And this is your PD. This is your professional development. So it's up to you to get the most out of it. So if you signed up for a session and you get into that session and it really doesn't fit your needs, please join a different session, because we want you to get as much out of this as you can. So once again, thank you so much for joining us for the 3.0. Now over to Stacy.
Hi, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Vanessa Wrenn, Director of the Digital Teaching and Learning Division for the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. Dr. Wrenn joined the DTL division last year from Granville County Schools, where she was the Director of Technology and a leader in online instruction, with a strong focus in new instructional models. Talk about a time for new instructional models, right? Dr. Wrenn's focus then and now has been to leverage emerging technologies to improve the experience, the educational experience for all students, and to maximize the resources and talents in our schools and districts. And speaking personally, Dr. Wrenn has provided leadership during this emergency that has had a focus on being agile and responsive, but also supportive and compassionate. Her tagline says it all. #love students. So without further ado, over to you, Dr. Wrenn.
Thank you, Stacy, for that wonderful introduction. I am so honored to be with you all today and to be among a community of educators with ideas and experiences to share, who are dedicated to increasing the knowledge of how to reach students during remote and blended learning. I also want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the facilitators and participants in today's virtual learning session. After participating in the next 2 days of learning with your colleagues, you will have the opportunity to laugh, be inspired, and come away with new ways to approach your work and put research and experience into practice. NC Learns Virtual Conferences 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0 is modeling the future of professional learning and teaching. So we have been in a remote learning environment for 2 months, and to many it seems more like 2 days, or some 2 years even. But I want to tell you how much we appreciate your agility and what you've done for the students and families across the state. We know we have many unknowns in the upcoming school year, but we know that school is not a building. It's about the relationships and the people and how you connect and build memories with your students. This situation has allowed me time to rethink education by examining many of our challenges that we faced. So I want to talk to you today about those challenges and how we can turn each of those challenges into a promising practice. We will have to work together to continue to provide the best instruction for North Carolina students. We know we're going to have bumps ahead, but with those bumps, we also have the perfect conditions to impact education for now and in the future. And we know as part of that future, the robust skills in digital literacy and online tools for educators and students is going to be crucial. So let me highlight some of these challenges, but most importantly, let me outline the promising opportunities that we have as a result of those challenges. As I get started, I want to share with you one of my favorite quotes, and I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's from Albert Einstein, and he says this: "Imagination is more important than knowledge." I think this is so appropriate for this time that we're in right now, because we are gaining knowledge, but we're only limited by our imagination to apply that knowledge and do good work for students and families during difficult times, and to influence the future for innovative, flexible education. This fast-paced situation has revealed the urgency we are facing in overcoming these challenges. So bear with me. Challenge one. One of the most critical obstacles is the digital divide, sometimes called the homework gap. We have approximately 326,000 students in the state who do not have access to broadband connectivity. In addition, we have many educators who lack access to fiber broadband at home. Challenge two, technology disparities between school districts. While many districts already had resources and the leadership, and they had embraced digital teaching and learning with devices for students and a vision for modern learning, we have many districts that have not. And they're in a situation where they're playing catch up, buying computers, implementing LMSs. They don't have ITS on staff. So with that, we know we have many disparities. And I also want to say, with Senate Bill 704 version 6, and supporting State Board of Education policy for remote instruction plans, there are 13 criteria that are outlined to create a quality framework of remote instruction. And that is going to include practicing with families and having students trained in online tools. And that catch-up gap is hurting many folks at this time. Challenge three, in remote and blended learning instruction, there are many variances in the home environment and the support students have at home, especially in kindergarten through grade 5. Parents are acting as the teacher, and just like teachers, they need time and training. We have various home situations where parents are supporting multiple students, parents are working, students are not in their home environment, students are caring for younger siblings, or even students are working themselves. Challenge four. This shift to remote learning has revealed many variances in the digital literacy skills for educators and students. This experience has emphasized the need to close the digital learning skills gap as part of the ongoing education landscape for students and teachers. And even though we often think of students as being very technology savvy, academic technology skills are quite different. Problem solving, flexibility, adaptability, and basic computer skills such as keyboarding are necessary. Students need to practice remote learning skills with direct teacher guidance. Challenge five, a lack of consistency in platforms and resources and tools. We have multiple digital platforms along grade levels, various platforms to log into has created a difficulty for students, parents, and teaching. Sometimes the biggest barrier is just knowing how to log in and where to go and how to navigate each system. So multiple tools and systems can be confusing, it can cause stress, and there's actually a term for that. It's called technology fatigue. One of my taglines I've been using since March 13th has been hashtag keep it simple. You might have seen it. But we have to take care of ourselves. And part of taking care of ourselves sometimes is having the grace and mercy to keep things simple for us and keep things simple for our families. Challenge 6, we have content challenges. We do not have a systemic kindergarten through 12th grade quality aligned digital content. Content that is modular to support blended learning and able to move on-site and off-site, and created opportunities for students to learn how to advance in a system. This not having a systemic program in place created a burden on teachers, and they've had to adapt their learning to their traditional learning to remote learning. I understand that digital content is a much bigger lift in K-5, therefore defining what that looks like will be important in the future. So with all of these challenges I've just outlined, it might feel a little depressing. However, hold on with me just a few minutes because we have a lot of promise. We have a tremendous opportunity to create lasting impact by leveraging these challenges. Just as I believe we will see a permanent expansion in telemedicine in the healthcare industry, I predict we will see lasting impacts from this experience on education, creating a scenario where future disruptions may not be disruptions at all. Since March 17th, we have learned that we're capable of delivering education differently on a mass scale. We are being called to think differently about how we serve students and deliver education. In 2015, the North Carolina Digital Learning Plan was put in place to guide districts to a digital age learning transition. The Digital Learning Plan, sometimes called the DLP, now has an increased relevancy in a world where we need adaptable and agile digital instruction. So another opportunity, and we're taking part in this opportunity right now, is leveraging our ongoing virtual professional development and video student instruction. We have leveraged virtual conferences and video conferencing to connect with students and other educators. And truly what a remarkable time this has been. We are in students' homes, we see the context of their environment, but most importantly, we've built relationships with families and those students. We've also seen video conferencing and office hours operating a medium where students are more comfortable talking to teachers. We've created Zoom bonds because everyone is experiencing the same situation at the same time. Tens of thousands of educators have participated in professional learning just like we are today. We've learned that when one school has fun weekly Zoom meetings where the children can connect to each other, and another school doesn't because of the limitations they may have with resources and connectivity, and they're using pencil and paper, it can create a situation where parents and students feeling left out. So we have this tremendous opportunity to continue to leverage our connections with synchronous and asynchronous video conferencing and use that to impact the future of education. Another opportunity is we've expanded the technology experiences for educators. Even though some teachers may not have been comfortable with using technology prior, they've had to embrace it and create new types of learning for students as a result. This current landscape has prompted educators to learn new digital tools, which creates a lasting benefit of adding resources to a teacher's toolbox, which can guide them into the most effective method to deliver instruction in the future, be it digital or non-digital. We have another opportunity to redesign the traditional structure of school by creating ongoing, flexible models of education that are designed to meet each family's unique needs and allow students to learn in less rigid environments and teachers to have more flexibility in their schedules. A system that provides for on-site and off-site learning as needed to pursue interest or responds to needs. We have shown that time and space is no longer a barrier to quality education for many. The option to learn remotely may be an ongoing instructional model to use as needed for educators and students who can flourish with that instructional model. Another opportunity, and one I think is very important, is we have the opportunity to rethink time in education. We've seen what educators can do when they have time for professional learning, time to collaborate, time to create quality lesson plans, when they're not in a guardianship role, but in a pure instructor role. Another opportunity is the opportunity to embrace and accelerate the shift to personalized learning and incorporate a competency-based learning model. Why not construct a system that meets children where they are and allows them to advance upon mastery in order to compact curriculum? This will allow for earlier access to college, credit, and community college certifications. Let's take this opportunity and build a system where students can focus on building their own student-learner agency with voice and choice. And opportunity 6, and you've heard me speak of this one, but we have an immense need to close the digital divide and ensure every student has the tools they need to succeed. The transition to remote learning has clarified the urgency of expansion of broadband connectivity. We know all students must have reliable connectivity and a device at home. We have new satellite technologies and a global awareness that connectivity is a utility similar to electricity. This is solvable, and we just have to do it. And lastly, we have an opportunity to provide strong, quality digital content in grades K through 12, content that's modular, adaptable, and gives teachers the ability to be creative as they deliver instruction. Our imagination into the future of education can envision a system that is fluid and allows learners and teachers to move between instructional models seamlessly as needed at all times. Rebecca Winthrop, a researcher at the Brookings Institution, wrote in the Learning Compact, "Education needs to provide all children, even those with access to good schools, the ability to navigate in an increasingly uncertain future. Students need educational experiences that develop their capacity for lifelong learning. And to do this, we need to make sure we're giving them much access to exhibit their proficiency with digital competencies." Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, what we know is quality remote instruction improves all instruction, no matter what the format. The technology used in remote instruction allows for educators to teach with tools for engagement and a sense of community. It also allows for students to learn how and where they need to learn. So thank you for letting me review with you some challenges and the opportunities we have as a result of those challenges. I thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy your conference. I'm so impressed with your eagerness to learn. Please continue to be the education leaders that you are. The students and families of North Carolina need and appreciate you. Back to you, Adam and Stacy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wrenn, for those words of encouragement and inspiration. And listen, NC Ed, just remember, we're making history. Let's do this.
Yes, Stacy, I agree. I am so excited to get started with NC Learns Together. Happy learning, y'all.